Good morning and welcome back to Monday Market Update. So happy to have everybody here. Happy we didn't have too bad of weather this morning and last night. Saw the storms rolling through.
It was pretty rough. Cheyenne going to my truck this morning, there was a little water standing in the driveway and she got wet up to her knees, so I had to go in and get a fresh pair of socks and shoes.
Oh, wow.
She was demanding new pants and I said, you're just gonna have to deal with those.
Wow. Dad of the Year. Where's your award? As you can see, I have Tracy Hammonds with me again this morning.
Howdy, folks.
We were going to have Shelly Corrales with us this morning, but she was unable to make it. So if you guys could just keep her family in your prayers
for sure
this morning. So Tracy.
So Vinay.
Okay.
Here we are again.
Here we are again. Not only am I putting up with you in the office, but I have to bring you into the show now.
You know what I think's funny is if this camera was in your car while we're going to a showing or in my truck,
yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's no different.
No, it's no different. This is just how we talk to each other. We were kind of chatting about what we wanted to talk about, going on in the market and stuff. And so I am still hearing so much from people about whether or not right now is a good time to buy. What are your thoughts on this? What's going on in your head, that engineer brain of yours?
Yeah. Well, so it's so interesting, right? So we have a seller's market right now is what we have. But what does that mean for buyers? Well, I mean, it really, if you talk to some of the economic experts in the area, I mean, go look at the Texas A&M Real Estate Center and see what they're showing for our area for the next few years. And by the way, we share those numbers, the ones that say Metro Tex and they have all the stats. Those come from the data that is derived from the Texas A&M Real Estate Center. So we watch them very closely. And from what they're saying, that our market is going to continue to increase in value over the next 10 years. Pretty much, maybe not at the extreme pace we've been seeing the last couple of years, but pretty much the same pace. And I mean, really, from a buyer's perspective right now, which actually, Ashley and I are current buyers in the market. We've had a real hard time finding what we're looking for. And I think we finally decided that we're going to build. So if you've got 50 acres, near the office, give us a call. But anyway, from a buyer's perspective, interest rates are so low right now, they're not going to stay that way forever.
Right.
And so if you're like, well, I want to wait to buy until there's not such a frenzy. Well, call your lender. Call the people that you would trust with your money and talk to them. And just look at what a 1% difference in interest rate would cost you over the life of a loan. And I think you would see that if you're thinking about buying, even though the market's kind of a frenzy right now, it would really benefit you, because just a 1% change in interest rate, especially if you're looking at what's our average right now, 250 to between 250 and 300 K. So if you look at what the difference of 1% over 30 years of that would be, man, you're talking about thousands of dollars of difference. And so while I'm saying yes, bring all the sellers, I'm going to encourage you buyers who are thinking about it to jump out there too. Don't just trust me though. Go talk to a lender. If you don't have a good lender, call Vinay, call the office. One of our great agents can hook you up with some of the lenders that we work with real often, and the ones that we know can get you closed.
Right.
We have a handful that we work with very closely, and I think they would advise you the same thing, that take advantage of the hot interest rates, even though the market's a frenzy, because it could literally save you thousands of dollars in the life of the loan.
Yeah.
If you wait, we don't know when those interest rates are going to go up, but we have a feeling in the next 12 months we're going to see a couple peaks, a couple points going up. And so what does that mean? It could mean 1% difference by the time we get to August. It could mean 0.2% difference by the time we get to August. It really depends on the Fed and all those people that are making those decisions, and what the end lender is seeing as far as risk in the market, so I think that as the economy starts to open back up,
right,
which Derek and Ashley actually were talking about that right before we went on air, about how many shots of the vaccine were going out, and how they felt like that as more people get vaccinated, it will become easier to open the economy back up. And as that happens and the economy starts to build again, the Fed will have less incentive to keep interest rates low.
Right.
So interest rates being low, take advantage of that, even though the market is kind of a frenzy right now, because of the amount of money that it could cost you in the life of your loan
Right.
if you choose to wait until those interest rates go up.
Yeah, I mean, it made a huge difference for us. So we refinanced and we went from like a 4% interest rate to like 2.8, which didn't seem like a lot. Like looking at the numbers, it was I want to say like $1,500 a year we were saving, like, or like paying less per year.
Right.
But I mean, over the life of 30 years, that's a good chunk of change
Right.
that we're saving. And then, I've had a lot of people saying, it's just so hard to get a house, with our low inventory and things like that. People are going in and there's already like 6-7 offers on a home
Right.
within the first few days.
Right.
But I will say one of the things that I know, for myself, for sure. And then, what I've seen with my own clients is that you go in and you put it in your, if you lose out on a couple of houses, you always end up in a house that you're like,
I'm glad I didn't get the others.
I'm glad I didn't get the other ones. Yeah, like what
sure.
would I have done? So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about putting offers on houses and
Yeah, be patient.
Yeah.
Don't get in a hurry. But here's another thing, and it's something that we do in our office. We really believe in education, and there's a couple of things where we can help you maybe get into a house, even if you don't win the first bid. Maybe
Yeah.
you can be around for round 2. And if you want to know more about what that means, give us a call. But I'd already kind of mentioned this on our private Facebook group. I kind of did a video explanation, and then our agents are going to get trained this Thursday at our office meeting about how to help a buyer who seems to get stuck in multiple offers and doesn't seem to win the bid. And we're going to talk about how to increase the chances of that buyer being able to be in the first position, and how we can, as agents, try to usher that change in. So there's some things, some tools in our toolbox that really haven't been used much because just the state of the market, and it really hasn't been needed. But I think we've got some tools we're going to brush up our knowledge on, and we're really going to try to utilize those and help our buyers that seem to not be able to get the house that they want, or seem to be losing out on bids and whatnot. And I hope it makes a difference. I really think it can. And I think as long as we keep trying to think outside the box and do some other things, those buyers are still going to find the house that they're looking for.
Right.
It just may take a little bit longer now than it did 2 years ago because of the state of the market. And so I'm still encouraging buyers,
Yep.
Come on out. Interest rates are still great. Your 4% interest rate was good.
Right.
That's a good interest rate. And then knocking it down to 2.8 is great. And my brother-in-law and sister just did the same thing. And they actually chose to go with a 15-year note when they refinanced. It was $200 more than the 30-year note.
Right.
But still about $400 less than their monthly payment was before that. And they're going to save almost $100,000.
That is insane.
On that home by the time they pay it out over 30 years.
That is insane.
$100,000 difference. So, wow, what can you do with $100,000 even if you had to spread it out over 30 years?
I could do so much.
So much. I mean, just knowing that you were saving that money and that you could earmark it for other things is great. So, there's some really great programs out there for buyers, and like I said, our agents are ready. We're educated, and we're even going to try to take on some new tools to try to help those buyers who've been in the market for a little while.
That's exciting. I'm excited. You guys, listen, we spend a lot of time on education at Home Texas Real Estate. So if you need an agent, you need to call us.
Call us. We'll help
Okay.
you. I think
Unbiased.
Derek's had our phone number on the screen already, and
Yeah.
I know that when we start talking about some of these listings, that he's definitely going to be putting that on the promo view and with our phone number at the bottom. So
Yeah.
jot that down. Give us a call. We would love to help.
Absolutely. And if you want it, even quicker, just comment on this and I'll send you my phone number personally. I'll send you my
Absolutely.
personal cell phone.
Vinay would love to help.
Okay. So thank you, Tracy.
Yes.
You always have a lot to say about everything. So it's always good to have
I'm a
you
talker.
on.
I'm a talker. What can I say?
But on that note, we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors.
At Money Law Firm, we are dedicated and focused on being professional, personal, and proactive.
In the title business, there's a lot of paperwork, but when you walk in the door, you don't see that. You see clean, clear walls, you see very straight lines.
Everyone here is like family.
They have a great team of people. The communication is great. I send as much business as I possibly can down here because they take such great care of us.
Welcome back. We're going to head right on in and see what's going on in the market in Hunt County. So we are seeing some lower numbers than we saw last week. We had 11 houses that are listed. We are still really needing sellers to put their houses on the market. 8 homes that were sold, so that was just a couple less than we saw last week, and 9 homes that went pending in the last week. So staying pretty consistent.
And if this trend continues through January, which it usually does,
right?
I expect that Metro Text, that Texas A&M Real Estate Center infographic that we place on our Facebook page monthly, I expect for that number of inventory. We saw, I think last month, 1.7 months of inventory. I expect that to be less than 1.5, maybe around the 1.2 month, and that is an extreme seller's market, is what that shows. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I look forward to kind of seeing the numbers, especially I want to see the numbers compared to 2020. I guess what more we're going to be getting towards, when the
pandemic started
more in like March and things like that, but still.
Yeah, I think March is going to be the big outlier, but after that, I expect to see 2021. I don't think it's going to be as different from 2020 as what we really think, because the market did really well from April on. I think maybe that the later third and early fourth quarter is going to be different, but I think summer months are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really believe that.
Homes active, 151. That's about 20 less than we had last week.
What were they in summer? Do you remember? They were 220s, 250s.
Here?
Yes.
On active homes? Yeah, it was in the 200s.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot.
Looking forward to that day.
Me too.
World's worst time to have to buy.
I hope they're all mine too. So last week we saw about $3.2 million sold. In this last 7 days, about 2.3. There was only 8 homes that were sold, so those were a couple of those were pretty well priced homes, bringing the average price in Hunt County to about $297,000. So that's definitely it's a little bit higher. Normally we stick around 250, things like that. But the last couple weeks we've seen it be higher since we're seeing less homes being sold. The first house we're going to go to, this is going to be 400 South Houston Street in Wolf City. This is listed by our own Laura Guerrero. It's listed at $115,000. 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,213 square foot. This is a very cute house, and they have done so much to it. I absolutely love it. I love the colors, and I love is that cedar? Can we tell if it's cedar?
It is cedar.
Cedar that they've done out there. It goes really, really well with that beautiful blue color. Inside here, it's like all shiplap, and I'm obsessed.
The current owner is not the one who did all of this. This was actually the current owner bought this house about a year ago, and they're having to relocate now, and so that's the reason it's back on the market now. But the person before them had been the one to do all the renovations. And I bring that up because sometimes when you buy a quote unquote flipped house, sometimes you run into some things that the builder may not have known about. Like, you can't really mimic when you're redoing a house what it's like when the washing machine's on, mama's taking a shower, and the dishes are in the dishwasher.
Right.
And you're running all that water. But in this case, these people have lived in this house for a year after it was flipped. So any of those little bugs that might have been there after it was flipped should be worked out by now. So I think this would be a great home to buy in Wolf City.
I agree, and it's absolutely beautiful. Perfect little starter size. They really utilized every square inch of this house, and done beautifully. The kitchen is really, really nice. They've got a dining area there. You see, it's 1,200 square foot, but they've really maximized the space. So that's a pretty large dining table.
I love it, with the modern farmhouse feel. And I think that, you've got so many people moving into Wolf City right now. Wolf City moved better in 2020 than we've seen it move basically since Ashley and I have been in the industry. And I think Wolf City is really going to continue to do that in 2021. And a lot of that, I think, has to do maybe with a little bit of the pandemic, because people are trying to get further away from their neighbors and further away from the rat race of the city. But Wolf City is so easy access to Greenville, and even, very close to that 121 corridor, makes it really easy to get into Collin County. So most people that are commuting from North Dallas we're seeing Celeste and Wolf City really starting to move. And then, the Trenton market and up in that area is really moving well too. So I think that this is just maybe on the coattails of some of that, but I really see Wolf City moving pretty fast in 2021.
Yeah, I agree. This is interesting to me. What kind of ceiling is that?
So that was probably original to the home. That is
Okay.
just ceiling tiles, is what that is.
Okay. So that's, yeah, this was built in 1970, but so original ceiling tiles. It's kind of cool though. I kind of like it. It's a little bit different. It's not popcorn, and that's what I care about.
And what here's what's cool about it, right? Is that you buy this house, it's been flipped, and you're like,
Right.
oh man, but I really just want that little project to make it mine.
Yeah.
That would be a great area where you could put some shiplap on the ceiling,
Yeah.
or you could even do a little trough ceiling or something. You could really do something simple that would really make that your space.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. Every inch of this house looks like it was in some way touched during that
sure.
renovation that they did. So you can see they've got that really pretty sink there in the bathroom. The bathroom looks really, really nice, and got one of those toilets that you
Push the button, yeah.
push the button.
I'm not really a big fan of those just because of the way that they're maintained, but they tend to be good for many, many years. My aunt's had one in her house for years and years, never had any trouble. But as a landlord or as
Yeah.
a guy that does maintenance on a lot of rent houses in Hunt County, I don't care for those being in my rent houses.
Yeah. Well, to each his own.
To each their own. That's correct.
You can see this has a pretty nice little lot there, but that, again, that's 400 South Houston Street in Wolf City. So if you are in the market, that's been on the market for about 7 days, give Laura a call or give me a call, and I'll get in touch with Laura for you.
Yep.
This next one, this is 3812 Henry Street in Greenville. This is listed at $145,000. This is listed by our own Sarah White. And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,562 square foot. It's got a little bit less than a quarter of an acre. I love this house. The brick on it, I would German schmear this house to death because I love it. I love every single aspect of this house. It's so unique. Built in 1960, but it doesn't look like a 1960 house. It looks much older than that.
I think it's
the
just
architecture.
because of the architecture, yeah. So tell me, so we German schmear you were just
Yeah.
talking about. So that's where you take usually a very light colored mortar.
Yep.
And you basically rub it on the bricks, and then some places you do it heavier, some places you do it lighter.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives it that rustic stucco effect, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think you would prefer that or a lime wash?
I prefer a German schmear. I think that it has so much more
Depth
to
Yeah, I
it,
agree.
and you leave in some that's what I love is that the brick is so red and has so much color to it. And I feel like that is what really makes a German schmear gorgeous. So
Right.
I'm distracted.
Yeah, Ashley's back there trying to give us
Mouthing words.
her advice, yes. But also, I think that either a lime wash or a German schmear on the front of this house would really enhance what's done
Yeah.
with the columns up front there.
I agree. I 100% agree. And so on the inside here, these ceilings, they look to be 12, like they look like they're 12 feet tall. In every single room, they, what's the fun thing about this is it's a fun house. It is a fun house because every room is a different color.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It is.
So I've seen these pictures.
Yes, but I mean, look at this, that gorgeous crown molding that they
Right.
have, and the doorways, the hallway, the trim. I mean, it is absolutely stunning. For myself, I would love to go in, paint this house white, and I feel like it's going to make it feel even bigger when already those ceilings and everything give it such, an open feel.
So paint's pretty easy, right? And that's something
Yeah.
that you could even do, nights and weekends or whatever while you're living there. I mean, not everybody likes to live in a construction zone, but paint's really one of the easiest things to do yourself. But the trim work,
Yes.
the craftsmanship that's already there and the character that's there, that's not something that's easy for a DIY person.
Right.
So if you're looking for something, maybe you love these colors, maybe you don't want to change them at all.
Right.
But I mean, even if you're looking at a house that just needs a little bit of DIY, but you don't want the difficult stuff, this is the guy. This is the one right here.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I 100% agree. I love this because, I mean, like we were talking about, they have the columns in here in this dining area. It's, I mean, kind of, I want to say like outrageous, but like outrageously like fantastic. It's something different that you're not going to find in any other
It's
home.
bold, and it makes
It
it feel
is.
grand, and with the high ceilings and the crown molding, and then you're like, wow, I've got 2 columns holding up this part of the house, you know.
Bring me my toast, peasant. You know, like
or coffee.
Bring me my coffee, peasant. I mean, I feel like somebody needs to be like fed grapes, like, you know, and I need a leaf fan for my kids. That's what I'm gonna do. Cheyenne and Avery, I'm gonna feed me grapes and like fan me every day if I had that house.
Well, if Cheyenne's involved, you're probably gonna get whipped with that leaf and not fanned with it.
Probably.
All right, so this is 3812 Henry Street. If you're interested in this house, give our office a call, give Vinay a call, and we'd love to show it to you.
Yes, absolutely. This next one, this is 212 North 4th Street in Celeste. We were just talking about how we're seeing a lot going on in Wool City and Celeste. This is listed at $190,000, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,570 square foot. It's got a little bit less than a quarter of an acre. Very cute home. I love the colors. It's kind of got that modern feel to it with the contrast of the black and that pretty kind of creamy white, and then that cedar, which is so extremely popular right now. The inside, they've done really a beautiful job. Well-maintained home. I love the accent wall that they've done there. You're going to see that a little bit throughout the house, that really pretty kind of olive green color. Olive or army?
Well, I think the wall is lighter in color than what we're seeing here. I think in person, so I'm not sure what I would call it. It's not olive though.
Okay, whatever you say. But you're gonna see it continues throughout here, which I absolutely love. I love that they made that kitchen kind of stand out a little bit more. But you've got a really nice island there, great for breakfast, anything like that. The gorgeous white cabinets. I mean, it's a gorgeous little home. I mean, perfect starter home.
Well, it looks like it has granite.
Yeah.
It's got some modern light fixtures in it. It's not 1970s curtains in there. You know, so I mean, they have done some updating. You know, the pantry door we're seeing there, that's not a 1970s door, and most likely that's a pantry that wasn't even there when the home was built.
Yeah.
And so they've really added that, and I think that's one of the things that's a must-have in mine and Ashley's next house is a walk-in pantry with a door that can close. Because nowadays everybody's got all these huge appliances, and it's great to have a place you can put those, because really our bottom cabinet's not even big enough. The air fryer, the what's it, the Instapot, and then the crock pot,
and the KitchenAid, and the mixer.
Oh man, so you have so many of those things, and well, right now they're on our countertop, and that makes
so much room.
They take up so much room. So having a place to put them like that is phenomenal, especially in a house where your eat-in kitchen is right there. So you don't just have this cluttered space. You can look nice and clean, and your appliances are put away. And I think that they've done a great job.
Yeah, I agree. On that note of pantries, before I forget, if you guys are gonna build, I feel like you need to build one of those pantries that's like has the kitchen stuff in it. It's a pantry, but it's got like the dishwasher and a sink and things. That way, it's like where you put all this stuff when you have company.
Well, I've told her that I want a little bit larger pantry, and what I really want in that pantry is just another lower cabinet space.
Yeah.
Where those appliances can be set and plugged in and used right there in that space. And so they're ready to be used, but they're not in the main kitchen space. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that was my idea. TM.
I don't know what TM is, so I'm not hip.
Trademark.
Oh, okay.
Hip.
All right.
Okay, you're 100. Just another view of the kitchen. I'm 100%. I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure they're probably taking that really nice fridge with them. But I like that fridge.
Is that one of those fridges that has the inventory and it's like tells you, hey, you're low on milk?
It feels like, I think it's just one where you can like tap it and it'll show you like that's like your drinks or something, or it'll show you like what's in the fridge. I think I know the person that actually owns this home. I'm slightly sure.
Okay.
I've never been over, and we don't actually talk or anything, but I do kind of know them.
Well, maybe if you would do a little better job networking, this would be your listing.
On air. On air, he said that. Cool.
All right.
Great.
Moving on.
Moving on from that. So they also have this nice shop. No, Ashley's laughing in the background, and I'm so hurt. This nice shop in the background, which would be so perfect for, I mean, keeping anything in there, but also you could make that into a guest house. That could be a photography studio. That there are so many options for this. So
is this picture on the right a picture of the inside of that?
That is a picture of the inside.
So it's got HVAC in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could do so many things with that. I mean,
yeah, like a little. I mean, if you put a
kids,
little
get out of my house,
little
go to your
bathroom in
house,
there
yeah.
or something, add it in there. It could be a little mother-in-law suite.
Mother-in-law
or,
suite.
You know, there's so many options for that. So that's,
that's
really
great.
awesome. But again, that's 212 North 4th Street in Celeste.
What do they call them? They don't call them a mom cave. What do they call those? A she shed?
A she shed.
Is that a she shed?
She shed. That might be a she shed.
It looks like a she shed to me.
She shed. Now we're going to move on to the sold. So this is 4911 Washington Street, and this was only on the market for 3 days, and it was listed by our own Stacy Brantner. I feel like I always say this, I talk about her every week because she is getting things sold, she is getting things for her buyers, she is getting things done. So very excited for her and the new owner of this home. Next, we're gonna have 7301 Sandy Lake Road. This is in Quinlan. Now, this house was listed at $487,000, and it was only on the market for 20 days. So I feel like even, you know, in Greenville, that's a lot. I feel like in Quinlan, I mean, that's an extra a lot. And so 20 days for that to be on the market. The house was gorgeous also. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. But it sold so quick. So that's showing you guys this market, how quick things are going.
Well, and the next one you have on here too is, 7310 Sandy Lake Road, same road, same neighborhood, and I'm looking for the days on market here, but I'm not seeing them.
Oh, it's 82. Sorry, I wrote it on mine, not yours.
You wrote it on yours.
It was 82.
82. Still, I mean, I think, but this one was listed about $200,000 more at $675 was the original list price on this one, and so I think, those days on market, and you think about how. When you look at that, you back those out. Now, we're talking about Thanksgiving was in there, the Christmas holiday, New Year's, and all of that. So really, that at this time of year, that's really not an extended time. And then especially when you're talking about a home that's priced at $675,000 on the market, I don't think that's abnormal at all. So, and the fact that both of these things sold in the same week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's outrageous.
Wow.
That's truly outrageous. Fantastic. I'm really excited for the new owners. I wish I knew them because that house looks so really nice. Looks super fantastic. So that's all we have for you guys this week. I'm very excited to have you on again. Hopefully, I don't have to have you on next week. That would be great.
You know what? That would be great. But you know what? I'm always here, because we want to make sure that this show is successful.
Right.
You know? And you do a great job here sitting in the seat. I have to pat you on the back a little bit if I
yeah, you yanked the rug out from under me.
Yeah, I did that a little bit. But you know what? I just want to remind everybody, call Vinay if you're a buyer thinking about buying, or anybody in our office. And we have some strategies to help get you under contract.
Yeah.
And if you're a seller that's on the fence, you know what? We're not going to just try to talk you into selling your home. We're going to try to talk to you and help advise you on what's best. And honestly, that advice is not going to come from just us, because obviously when you sell your home, you're going to have to buy another one. Which I think that may be one thing that's keeping sellers out of this market, is knowing that they're going to have to buy another house.
Yes.
So come and talk to us, and let's talk about your criteria, and let's look at what that part of the market looks like. Because when we're here on the Monday Market Update, we're talking to you about the whole market. And, there are definitely some specific divisions within our market. And just like we were talking about how those higher priced homes were on the market longer, and the lower priced homes are just flying off the shelf. And I think depending on where you are in that, we may have some different strategies based on where you fall within the market that could help you not only sell your home, but help you be able to move right into your next dream home. So you can't buy a house that you don't make an offer on.
Right.
You can't sell a house that you don't put on the market. And honestly, you can't make that move very easily if you don't talk to an expert first. So come and talk to us, and we're going to help you network with some of the other people that are going to be required for you to sell and then buy a home. And let's make it happen. Let's make dreams come true.
Yes, please, let's do it. I love it. I love it. Motivational speaking by Tracy Hammonds. You guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Family is very important to us, and that's why we wanted to bring family to our business.
We tell folks that at Home Texas Real Estate, we work as a team, and we're all working together to try to sell your house, or we're all working together to help you find the right one that you want to buy.
With At Home Texas Real Estate, it's our family helping your family.